Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Elite Race here on our Monday night series, the 2021A season of the SMRI Productions Grand National Series. Tonight is race number 5 of the season, the first road course race of the season, and it's at the largest road course that we see here in NASCAR and in the Elite Racing League is Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. 4-mile, 14-corner circuit here is one of the fastest, trickiest tracks we see on the schedule here for the SMRI Productions Grand National Series. Tonight is the Whitetail Smokeless 130 here on the full course of Road America. I'm Ryan Gable, and alongside me is Jordan Owens here on the Elite Racing Network. Qualifying has just gotten underway. It's 10 minutes and 4 laps, which you don't even have enough time to do 4 laps here in 10 minutes, so you might get 2 fast laps here. 2 opportunities at running a full speed lap on fresh tires as we're watching the man, R.C. Enerson, who was fastest in practice, and it wasn't even a question, had the field beat by over a full second. Definitely a favorite coming into this race, and RC's definitely going to look good here on the racetrack in that Lucas Oil School of Racing Ford Mustang. Now, Jordan, looking ahead to this race, I mean, what are you expecting, and what do you think we're going to see out of R.C. Enerson? It's R.C. Enerson versus the field here tonight.
Oh, without a doubt. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he puts up a second over second place the way he's running in practice. I definitely think, we'll have some guys like Hooker and maybe Sherman, Frankenfield up here in front as well, but we're looking at Class A being RC, and we might have 5 or 6 drivers there in a Class B, and then everyone else. Hopefully we get some surprises, but looking off the practice sheet, it's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, definitely going to be tight here to beat R.C. Enerson. He's on a pretty good-looking lap so far. We've been watching him down this long straightaway into a really tough downhill left-hander right here. So Enerson definitely looking for a good lap here. No mistakes, just get around the track here. Usually my strategy qualifying on a road course is if you have enough time for 2 laps. Ooh, he slides it a little bit there into that left-hander, but usually if you have 2 fast laps that you're able to get done, which you should have enough time to here, is lap 1, I like to just take it easy and put out something. And then lap 2, I maybe like to push a little hard and try to pull off a good lap. But lap 1, I think really what your goal should be is just get around the track and put down a solid lap. And if Enerson does that, it should still be a fast enough lap to put him easily in the top 5.
Yeah, certainly, I agree. This qualifying is really interesting given how large of a track this is. Some of these guys, if they make one mistake on that first lap, they may not get a chance to set a time. So, put yourself in the hole real quick.
Yeah, definitely. Man, RC's getting every inch out of the track, getting to the edge of every curb as he comes down through here this straightaway, and only a couple corners left on the track. We'll have to see what he runs for a time in practice. He ran a 2:14.1. The second fastest lap was a 2:15.3. He was almost in the 2:13 brackets, and no one else was even in the 2:14s. So, I mean, he's really fast as he comes through here this final corner. And uphill down the front straightaway. Uphill here, you see pit entries there on the right, and we're going to see what people run for lap times here. Across the stripe, Enerson's going to shut it down and come to a stop, and he broke the 2:13s, a 2:13.929s, and that is even faster than what he ran in practice.
And the guys he's beaten, Lutz and Fody, are by no means slouches, and he almost put 2 seconds clear on second place.
That was a certainly very, very impressive lap there. I mean, in practice. So he's definitely been strong all season long. He had a couple misfortunes that costed him some really good finishes that he could have had, but tonight's the night. If you're a good road racer, it's very easy if you're a good road racer to capitalize and have a good finish in these races, because there's not many cautions or anything like that. As David Tooker puts out a really strong lap, 2:14.5. He's the first person other than Enerson to put a lap sub 2:15 in, so that's very impressive there.
Yeah, it was a great lap by Tooker. I think he strategically
It's too bad. Something actually funny story. Last season, Ryan Lutz made myself a paint scheme. This for the Cup Series was the first race of the chase. And going into the first race of the chase, he made me a paint scheme and forgot to put the right banner on. So I qualified second and got an EOL and drove myself all the way back to the front. So it's definitely doable, but we'll see if Ryan Lutz can do it here.
Yeah, he's got the luck, and well, no, I wouldn't call it luck, but there's strategy games he can play with these stages can play into his hand.
Yeah, hopefully, that's the thing that saves you, especially with a situation like that. If you make a mistake early or you fall back early, you can bounce back to the front because of those stage cautions. Again, we have stage cautions lap 8, and then another 8 laps, so it'll be lap 16, and then to the finish. So at the completion of laps 8 and 16, we will have a stage yellow. The pits will open, guys will be allowed to pit, and the pits do close with 2 to go in the stage, as they do in real life. So if someone was trying to short pit, they would have to bounce from the back to the front onto the caution. As Ryan Lutz pulls over to let the field get by, we're going to do a full pace lap here to start off the race. Again, the pace laps here are kind of, not going to lie, brutally long. It's a 4-mile track. They take a while to get around.
Yeah, we probably got 3 or 4 minutes here before we actually see some green flag action.
Yeah, for sure. Again, this is the Whitetail Smokeless Tobacco 130. And Whitetail Smokeless Tobacco is tobacco-free dip. Whitetail Smokeless is tobacco-free and comes with or without nicotine. Looks, tastes, feels, packs, and buzzes like traditional tobacco dip, but without any of the dangers. Nothing to rot your teeth or gums. No molasses, no sugar, no honey, no tobacco. Long cut, keep the ritual, ditch the tobacco. So again, Whitetail Smokeless Tobacco sponsoring tonight's race. And man, I wish I was racing, because these guys are racing for a pretty cool prize pack. Whitetail Smokeless put up a prize pack, which includes a $50 gift certificate, a tin, a koozie, stickers, a mug, and a Jeremy Clements signed hero card. I think they sponsored his Xfinity Series ride in real life. So that is really cool that these guys are racing for that.
Yeah, there's some irony there too, given Clements' one and only Xfinity win so far came here at Road America.
Yeah, that is correct. I remember watching that race. I was pretty hyped for him. I love seeing underdogs like that pull out wins, and it was no fluke. He won that thing on a green flag run. He got it done. That was a pretty good race. So these guys definitely racing for a pretty cool prize here tonight as we make our way around this 4-mile circuit in Wisconsin under what used to be the Johnsonville Bridge. No longer is. I think iRacing updated the signage around this racetrack to look more modern to what it does today. One of my favorite tracks, though, on iRacing and in real life, watching races there. I'm excited to see the Cup Series will be racing here on the 4th of July weekend this season. For the first time, the Cup Series will be racing at this circuit.
Long overdue, in my opinion.
Yes, Xfinity Series puts on a fantastic show at this track. I mean, this place is really suits stock car racing well compared to some other tracks. I mean, I think about, you know, some of the new road course circuits coming to NASCAR, and I think about this, then I think about Circuit of the Americas, which is a track really built for road course cars, you know, Formula One and open wheel and, you know, that kind of stuff. But I'll have to see how stock cars do there. I'm interested. I know they did a tire test recently, but I'm excited for all those races nevertheless.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's going to be an action-packed season. Already has been.
Yeah, it definitely already has been. Lots of surprise winners. Hopefully that trend continues. Love to see some new faces win and some surprises all over as the Cup Series and Xfinity Series heads to Phoenix this weekend. But getting ready for the green flag. Got one more corner to go, and we will be taking the green flag 32 laps. This first stage runs to the completion of lap number 8 is the number we're looking at right now. Pace truck is in the field, going up the hill to the start-finish line. To take the green flag, R.C. Enerson is in command, and we are underway from Road America in the Whitetail Smokeless 130. Down towards turn number 1, Enerson leads Tooker, Fody, and Weeks. Plowman didn't get going too well and fell to 5th. But these guys taking it easy here through the front of the field. Got some cars off the track toward the rear, but fairly clean overall.
Sherman making a pass on Causey. Single file throughout the top 10, it looks like. Top 15.
Freight train down the hill towards this hard left-hander, but Enerson leading pretty comfortably. David Tooker not giving up too big of a gap, though. That 19 car not far behind just yet of the 50. Oh, we got a pile up here in the left-hander.
Causey, right.
Causey, Leininger, Scott Crump also involved. We stay green. They're still bouncing off of each other. It's really narrow part of the track here into this next really slow left-hander. But everybody so far kind of avoiding all right. Michael Goodman also picked up damage. Josh Roppen, though, fell from the back of the field. He's involved. Man, that was a mess through that corner there. And that really strung out the field really big. Damian Leininger has heavy damage. Scott Crump has a bit of damage as well as Thomas Sherman.
Yeah, definitely not the way you want to start your race. First lap, about the 3rd turn. Looks like Chris Wright's got a little bit of rear end damage, but he's still holding strong at 14.
Yeah, that wreck, unfortunately, it was caused by Joseph Causey. He drove in too deep to that downhill left-hander, locked him up and spun, and was parked right in front of the field. Nowhere for anybody to go, so just an unfortunate incident there. Nowhere to go for a lot of cars.
Josh Robin picking up some rear end damage as well.
Oh, Scott Crump's around in Canada corner, the right-hander. He's getting it back rolling now, but losing tons of positions. He picked up damage from that other incident.
Yeah, he's getting freight trained right now. It's like Tyler Riggs is going to let him in.
Yeah, he overdrove that right-hander and dropped the left sides into the gravel, and he didn't spin it, but he almost did, and he came to nearly a stop trying to get back going again, so loses a ton of positions, but no damage.
After one lap, RC and Tooker have effectively put about 3 seconds on the rest of the field. Great first lap for both of them.
And Chad Frankenfield started 22nd, is up to 9th in the opening lap. So definitely some speed in that number 15 Ford Mustang. And the TD Custom Signs and Bird Racing Ford Mustang, that is, he's up to 9th position.
Yeah, car's still clean. He did a great job on that first lap, avoiding the, first lap chaos, putting himself in a good position.
Yeah, it's definitely a good deal of cars that picked up some damage from all that carnage, but nothing's too major. I think if anyone got the worst of it, it might be Chris Wright and Damian Leininger. Ooh, we got another one spinning. The 24 Jari's around there, but no harm, no foul. Looks like a lot of guys have been struggling getting into that corner, overdriving it. Some guys just maybe need to chill out a little bit, just let the race play into their hands. There's definitely some hard racing going on, though, right now.
Oh, Chris off again.
Oh, and that's Damian
Damian.
Leininger. Hank involved. Multiple cars again. Man, a lot of guys are going around here. It's early in this race, but Damian is parked in the gravel, waiting for a gap. He can't get out on the track yet.
There he goes. It's a tough start.
Yeah, that was that was Chris Wright getting into the left-hander down that hill, locked him up. That's a really slow corner, and he had it locked up. He tried his best, but he caught Damian in the left rear when he slid back on the track, and Hank Steinmiller had nowhere to go and clobbered him as well.
Yeah, and as you can see, Brandon Keys already picked up a ton of front end damage.
Oh, massive crash here on this long straightaway. Richard Hines, Tyler Riggs, they both crashed on the straightaway. They're going to get back going. I thought more guys were going to pile into that. Nick Yeoman also off the track. Man, this has been quite the first two laps here. Yeoman's car still clean, but he went off wide into that corner.
We got guys exploring the track everywhere, on and off of it.
That is for sure. Looks like Chris Wright is heading to pit road. His damage too severe, and it's a long lap, so he's going to be able to fix a lot of it and still remain on the lead lap. Tyler Riggs destroyed the 26. He crashed on the straightaway with Richard Hines. Brandon Key also very torn up.
Yeah.
Damian Leininger is heading for the pits as well.
Luckily for these guys, all of them can make pit stops and just work on getting damage repaired to, set themselves up for the second stage. So they'll be able to stay on the lead lap. They just got to pay attention to where the leader's at.
Yeah, still a lot of racing to go, and a lot of guys already very much torn up. Except for about the top 7 or 8 guys, with the exception of maybe Thomas Sherman running 6th, that are pretty clean. Matthew Weeks running 5th. Brian Blauman is 4th, and he is all over the back bumper of Tyler Fode. He's been close to him, trying to make a move in the 23. David Tooker running 2nd. That gap has opened up between him and R.C. Enerson. It was 2.2 seconds last time by.
And look here, Ron Lutz, he's picked up a little bit of front end damage, but after starting last, he's working his way up to 12th place already.
Yeah, he got in the incident back there with Hank Steinmiller and Damian Leininger. He got a little bit of damage, nose damage, but I think he'll generally be okay. It definitely hurts to be down on power at a track that has such high-speed straightaways, but nevertheless, he got an EOL penalty, and he's driven it back up to the 12th position. So a solid run still for Ryan Lutz so far.
Yeah, I think he'll be very happy with this start of the race, given where he had to come from. So not too bad.
Also, shout out to David Carpenter in the 71 car. Started 19th, and he's driven up to 9th. He actually might pick up 8th here as Marshall Stanley just drove off the track, doing a little bit of agricultural work there through the right-hander. So David Carpenter reeling in Marshall Stanley. That's for 8th. Good run for David Carpenter and Marshall Stanley, both having solid runs here.
That gifted Chad Frankenfield 7th place as he continues his charge up front as well.
Andrew Rucker just drove about a mile off the track as well in the final corner. He's going to lose a spot or 2, and Hank Steinmiller has been turned out of the final corner in the 63. That might have been on his own. He had Ethan Burrell behind him.
Gets it back on track.
Yeah, Hank spun on his own. It, for a second, looked like maybe Burrell might have helped him, but he did not.
Yep, straight to pit road, following Scott Crump.
Yeah, I think Crump's having some issues here. He's on his way to pit road as well. He picked up some damage. So multiple cars have found themselves off the track here early. 51 there. Harrison Talon having a good run. Started 21st up to 10th, and his car is 100% clean, so he's been finding his way around some of the incidents here early.
We move back up towards the front. We got Brian Blauman chasing down. Still looking to get after Tyler Fody there for third.
Yeah, they've been fairly close throughout this whole run. We're about halfway through this first stage now. We're coming closer to the completion of lap number 4. Stage 1 caution will come as the leader touches the line to complete lap number 8. In real life competition, they'll wait till the top 10 cross, but if we were to do that, we'd have to do a whole nother pace lap, and that is very much unnecessary. So we're just going to call the caution as they cross the stripe to complete the stage. That is the leader. R.C. Enerson right now is coming across to complete half of the stage, but still a little ways to go here.
You know, for as comfortable of a lead as RC's built, he's still getting every ounce of speed he can out of that car.
Oh, we got another crash here. Ryan Lutz has been body slammed off into the gravel, and he is completely backwards. He got into that corner, and it was the 71 of David Carpenter, got on the brakes and got a little wheel hop, I'm guessing, and that got out of control on the end of the straightaway, and he body slammed Lutz off the track and around. Lutz definitely not happy with that one. And he's almost going to get into Gerald Campbell up the hill. Everyone hangs on to it, though, but David Carpenter, a little bit of left side damage to what was a clean Toyota Supra. He still runs in, I believe, 11th position.
Yeah. Well, Lutz is going to come to pit road, but his only consolation there is they didn't really lose much, track position. But if he's coming down pit road, he's looking forward to stage 2 already.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, he just showed that in that first stage, he's able to drive up through the field. I mean, he just did it once. He thinks he can do it again here in this second stage. He luckily still has another 2 cautions ahead of him, so he's going to fix damage and see what else he can do here. As Andrew Rucker's gone off the track, he's going to lose some positions. But, yeah, still a ways to go in this race.
And here we look at the closest battle on track right now. Thomas Sherman and Matthew Weeks battling out for 5th.
Yeah, Thomas Sherman picked up a little bit of damage on the opening lap, but he works his way around the outside of Matthew Weeks. What a great pass there. Into the top 5 positions now. Thomas Sherman looking really strong so far. He passes a clean Toyota of Matthew Weeks. The Flat Out Racing Network Chevrolet has moved into 5th. Also wanted to mention Tyler Fody has been reeling in David Tooker pretty quickly here as R.C. Enerson has driven away. I don't know if Tooker made a mistake during this lap or what, but that gap has significantly closed from second to third. Second, third, and fourth relatively close to each other here.
Yeah, RC's pulled out almost an 8-second lead here. Driving away with this first stage.
Yeah, Tooker must have definitely made a mistake during this lap as he seems out of control. I mean, he might have pushed too hard in the opening lap or two when he was hanging right with the back bumper of R.C. Enerson, because it was 4 seconds at the stripe last time by, and right now it's looking like closer to 9 as they come to the stripe here. We'll have to see the exact number as they cross the line, but Tooker has fallen back significantly. Yeah, that time by 8.4 seconds, so a loss of about 4 seconds by David Tooker that time by, as Tyler Fody reels him in for the runner-up spot here at lap number 6. So at the completion of this lap, the pits will close, so if anyone in the back of the field here wants to pit and stay out at the end of the stage, now is the time. But you definitely want to know that tire fall-off is drastic. I mean, we're 6 laps into this run now, actually completed 5 laps, and R.C. Enerson's time was 3 seconds lower than the time he ran on lap number 1. So pretty major fall off there.
Yeah, that's significant wear. And of course, a lot of it just goes into just how long of a track this is.
Yeah, definitely. You think 6 laps isn't much, but it really is when you think, oh yeah, 6 times 4, It's quite a bit.
The high-speed nature with the, there's a lot of slow corners here, heavy braking. You're going to wear tires out.
Yeah, David Tooker, I think, definitely has worn his tires out. He's sliding through just about every corner on the racetrack. He's wheel hopping into every slow corner on the racetrack, and Tyler Fody has reeled him in.
Yeah, and that's something we'll have to watch as this race plays out. A lot of these guys didn't really do much long run practice, so we don't really know what they have. So could be a major factor once we get into the final stage of the race.
Yeah, it definitely could be. That's one of the things that always hurt me in a lot of these races is tire saving was something I absolutely didn't focus on, and it definitely bit me in the butt a few races. So we'll have to see how David Tooker can hold on here. Let's see if he can hold on to second. Fode's close, but he's not close enough yet. We'll see if he can pressure him into a mistake.
Tooker gets loose off that turn. Keeps it under control, though.
Ooh, we got loose there in that last corner. Fode's going to reel him in big time down this straightaway. He's going to have a huge run. Pit lane is closed. Race control has gone over the radio as RC crosses the line. You see Tooker swerving down the straightaway, trying to break that draft as they head down the front straightaway. We'll have to see if that really helps him. I mean, he's not going to get there yet. Fode drives it in really deep into turn one, maybe too deep.
Too deep.
As he goes wide into the grass, into the gravel. Gives Brian Blauman third. Fode, though, has a real big gap further back, so he's going to get away with it a little bit here.
It was worth a shot. With they had about a 12-second gap back to fifth place. So he just needs to get himself under control, calm down here, get to the end of the stage.
Yeah, that is for sure. Also want to mention Marshall Stanley, who was running 8th, has had either some sort of problem with his rig or something because he made a mistake through the kink and then parked it, and he is done. So Marshall Stanley running in top 10 got into the wall, and he has disconnected from the race. So Marshall Stanley, who was having a good run, unfortunate to see him out so early here before the first stage is over.
Yeah, something must have happened to his rig, I would assume. Either that or an accident with another car. Because I know Marshall's one of those sports car guys. He's pretty experienced on road courses. But it would be very unlike him to make a mistake on his own.
Yeah, David Tooker right now, I've been watching him these last couple of laps. He is dirt tracking it right now through the carousel as they come through the kink. Turn 11 here, the right-hander. Let's see how he does through here. Trying to keep as much speed as he can, and now there's only 2 to go in the stage, coming to the last lap of the stage. I mean, Tooker's going to be sliding all over the place, hoping he can just hold on to second, but Brian Blauman has been doing a good job saving here.
Yeah,
the Canada corner, up
Tooker's
Thunder Valley.
Gonna be happier to see this caution more than just about anyone else on track.
Yeah, he's been losing a lot of time, not only to the leader, but to the cars behind him. Oh, he's going to slide it big time. Oh, man. Bristol's not for 2 more weeks, my man. David Tooker slides it through turn 14, and that's going to give Brian Blauman another huge run. It was Tyler Fode last time by who had the huge run, but looks like they're going to even out in speed here, so Blauman not going to be quite close enough yet to make the move into turn 1. This is the final lap of the stage, and R.C. Enerson has a lead of over 12 seconds. So he's got this thing pretty much wrapped up as he's currently sitting behind the lap car of Scott Crump, who's trying to stay on the lead lap. Of course, he would be the only car 1 lap down if he does get lapped here by R.C. Oh, and he's going to go around, actually, right in front of R.C. Luckily, he got out of the way naturally by bouncing off the wall. That car already had a lot of damage, and he just nosed it into that concrete slab on the inside.
Yeah, it's a tough start to the race for Scott. We'll see if he still rebounds and gets the lucky dog. Everyone else that's down a lap is already out of the race, so.
Yeah, the next car in front of Scott is Damian Leininger, who is going through the carousel right now. He shouldn't be at risk of being lapped. He's pretty far ahead of R.C. Enerson. But Scott Crump should get the lucky dog when we get the caution here in a minute, as the battle for second is really raging, though, right now. Brian Blauman is still right there behind Tooker as they're catching Scott Crump here through the carousel and out of the carousel now. Let's see where Crump goes. He's in a bad spot right now, but I think he's got enough speed to stay in front of these two. Going through the kink here and through this straightaway known as Kettle Bottoms in between turns 11 and 12. Oh man, Tooker's losing a lot of time here. He's braking really early. Blauman's sending it in here. See if he can make something happen through Canada Corner. But through the final corner, turn number 14, R.C. Enerson is going to walk away with an easy Stage 1 win, pick up a lot of bonus points here for the Stage 1 victory. Oh, they're crashing for second place. Oh. Both of them. Blauman actually saves it, but there was contact there. Caution flag is out for the end of the stage. Oh no, I didn't see what happened to start that. We might have to go back and check a replay there, because they made contact. Brian Blauman has heavy damage, and David Tooker is definitely not happy. Tooker's going to drive up beside that 23 car. We're going to have to watch a replay, see what happened. They made contact into the last corner.
Here we go. We have it right now. Looks like Blauman just misses the turn.
Yeah, Blauman was being aggressive, and he drove in too deep. Wheel hop, locked him up. He was sideways before he even got into the 19, so unfortunate there. And then the caution flag comes out. It almost looked like Blauman wanted to give the spot back, but the caution flag came out.
And Tyler Fody may have not picked up a position because of the caution, but he's definitely a major beneficiary of them two getting damaged.
Yeah, I'm not sure where these guys are going to line up. Tooker has taken off and driven past Blauman, but I'm not sure exactly who's going to be scored as where for the stage end or what. But that was an interesting moment right there. But nevertheless, R.C. Enerson is loving seeing everyone just killing each other here behind him as he walks away with the easy Stage 1 victory. And unfortunately, it looks like they didn't call the caution quick enough or something, because we got to come all the way around the racetrack here to catch the pace car. The pace truck here is sitting at the end of the pit lane. But man, looking through the field, there's a lot of damage. Josh Robin currently up in smoke. Looks like he has blown the motor. He's going to be done for the night here. That 8 car is toast.
Yeah, we have Tooker with rear end damage, Blauman with front end damage. Fody's still got a clean car, just went off track one time.
Yeah, Fody definitely sitting in good shape. Blauman might be in some trouble. His nose is pretty well caved in, so he might be in some rough shape here on the straightaways. Tooker might have got away lucky getting damage to the back bumper, so that might save him, because he'd much rather have it there than on the front. But so far, 33 cars are still in this race. Scott Crump should be getting the lucky dog here under this caution flag, as the leaders have caught the pace car now. And the top 5, I believe I'm correct saying that, get bonus points. So that's Sherman, who finished 5th, and then you saw the top 4, Fody, Tooker, Blauman, Enerson, 4th through 1st.
This trio here, Sherman, Weeks, and Frankenfield, they all three have pretty clean cars. That's 5th through 7th.
Yeah, definitely still have the capability of snagging themselves a podium finish. Still a long way to go. 22 laps. It'll be less than that when we go back to green flag racing.
We give a little run through the field here. Just get a look at your favorite driver. See how their cars are looking right now after his first stage.
Another driver having a solid run. Chad Thornquist in the 92 machine started 36th, did not run a qualifying lap. Finished that stage in 9th. That car is not clean though, but it's cleaner than some in that tie-dye looking 92 machine.
Yeah, cleaner than most. That counts for something here.
He's got a little damage to the nose, but that's it. Still got a good ways to go here. Looking solid so far. Andrew Rucker running 10th, also a pretty solid run there for the 64.
Trying to see if Josh Clark has any damage or not. I think he's still got a clean car too.
So R.C. Enerson, winner of stage number 1, is looking for his 2nd win in a row. He won last week at Las Vegas in pretty dominant fashion throughout the second half of that race. But some guys that run well week to week in trouble. Chris Wright is out of this race and will finish last, 36th position. So rough run there for Chris Wright. Nathan Bird never started the event. He was the 05 car, slated to start 37th of 37. Never took the green flag here. So he'll be rewarded with a last place finish. But Chris Wright, 36th. Brent Jones in 35th. Marshall Stanley in 34th. We'll have 33 cars left in the race, and I believe they'll all be on the lead lap when Scott Crump gets the lucky dog, but there's definitely some guys with some heavy damage, and I also believe Josh Robin is going to be out of the race here momentarily because he's blown up right now in the 8 car.
Yeah, Josh will most likely end up in the 33rd position for tonight.
Yeah, that car is up in smoke right now. Some other guys with heavy damage, Richard Hines, Hank Steinmiller, Damian Leininger have very heavy damage.
Yeah.
Tyler Riggs, Brandon Key, yeah, Michael Goodman. Nick Yeoman, who had a pretty solid opening lap, had gained a bunch of spots, but he's got no hood left on that 55 car.
Yeah, Michael Goodman's now in the Whitetail Modified.
Now, I know it's pretty early, but if I had to pick a contender for paint scheme of the race, I don't know what it is with that 71 of David Carpenter. I kind of just like the simplicity of that 71 car is clicking with me. I love the 71 scheme of David Carpenter. We don't need to make the official pick yet, but I like it.
It definitely sticks out. Nice and simple sometimes is the best. Everyone's coming down pit road here.
Yeah, here comes the whole field. Scott Crump's going to receive the lucky dog, so he's on the racetrack still. You see him, but everybody coming down pit road. I'll have to see if any of those guys that came in to fix damage and maybe take tires as well. I'm not sure if maybe Ryan Lutz or Damian Leininger or Hank Steinmiller took tires or anything like that. We'll have to see, but here comes everybody down pit road and into their stalls. See, R.C. Enerson there has pit stall number 1 as virtue of being the pole sitter, so he's at a pretty good advantage here. So he's going to jack up the left and out of the pits, everything remains fairly similar. Enerson, Plowman, Fody, and that wall jets out there at the exit of the pits can sometimes scare you. Some guys had to avoid that as they single file out of the pits.
Yeah, it looks like Ethan Reasoner stayed on track. He's probably trying to get some bonus points.
Yeah, probably leading a lap there. Tyler Fody has moved up. Looks like they scored David Tooker second, but he lost those spots in the pit lane. He now is 4th behind Fody and then Blauman. Thomas Sherman is 5th, but the rest of the field pretty much the same throughout. And nobody stayed out other than, Ethan Reasoner probably just to lead a lap. We'll have to see if he stays there for the restart. But other than that, everybody on the pit lane.
Yeah, we got to give some props to Ethan, too. He's still got a clean car.
Yeah, he's definitely in store for a chance at a good finish here. That 86 car. Qualified 15th, so solid qualifying effort as well. So he's got some speed in that Stadia Chevrolet.
Yeah, Ethan was one of the guys that raced in the 6 hour at the Glen, so he's had plenty of road course practice here lately.
Andrew Rucker just sailed off into that left-hander downhill and crashed on his own in the 64 car.
Now let's back up to it.
I think we should, because I don't know if he was looking at his phone or something. I got to see what happened there, because he not only went off the track, but he plowed the wall all the way through the sand.
Here, we got a good look at it now.
Through the gravel trap and everything. Yeah, he goes in there way too hot and finds himself in the wall.
Oh, got some good damage there. He might come back down pit road.
Yeah, he might have to. He knocked the right side in pretty good.
Yeah, it just goes to show even the pace laps here can be treacherous if you're not paying attention.
Yeah, everyone catching up to the pace car at speed, and he got himself into some trouble.
Yeah, let's go back to live time now. We'll keep an eye on him and see if he decides to come back and get some damage fixed or not.
So we should be going green here. I'm expecting us to take the 1 to green next time by. So that would put us on lap 12 and lap 13 for green. So this is going to be a really short final stage, because the second stage caution comes out at the completion of 16. So that extra pace lap kind of shakes things up. The second stage always winds up shorter because of the caution laps after the first stage. But this one definitely going to be quite a bit shorter.
I'll say some guys will be happy with that. Have a short stage,
for sure.
Get a chance to reset and gear up for that really long third stage.
Not much of a chance to save much tire here, as this stage is going to be very short. But Ethan Riesener looks like he is going to stay out and attempt this restart here on old tires, on the tires he started the race with. So it's going to be interesting to see how things get in going into turn number 1. He usually does this. He'll pull out of the way. I don't know how much room there is to really pull out of the way. We'll see how this goes, but Ethan Riesener here staying out on the racetrack and stealing some laps led from Enerson. Enerson definitely had a shot at running the perfect race here and leading them all, but now he's found himself in an interesting position here, starting on the outside of the front row coming into turn 1. Brian Blauman could definitely capitalize on this.
Yeah, he certainly could. And, you know, Riesener has some pace, as we talked about in qualifying 15th, so he may be able to hang out up here in the top 10 still. Really going to come down to how much he abused his tires during this stage.
Also wanted to mention here in the point standings, coming into this race, Tyler Fode and R.C. Enerson, both race winners, were 1-2 in points. Fode had a 3-point advantage over R.C. Enerson, and the way they run right now, they'd be just about tied, as Enerson definitely having a better race than Fode, but Fode is definitely a top 5 car. He's been running in the top 4. He's pretty much been running in 4th the whole entire race. Then you have Chris Wright was sitting 3rd in points, only 6 points out of Fode, but he's looking at a last place finish in what is more than likely a drop week for Mr. Wright there, which his drop week is currently Michigan, 34 points. So he overall won't lose much. He'll have to use this week as a drop, which is unfortunate. You don't want to have a drop of a last place finish or a missed race, because once you have another last place finish or missed race, that's really going to start hurting you in the points, because you get one drop week over the course of the 11 race regular season here, and this is race number 5.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in, already knowing that your drop week is gone, but you know, it's good for him that he's been so strong here to start the season. That's not going to hurt him so much right now. He's just going to have to make sure he takes care of business the rest of the way through until the chase.
Yeah, that's for sure. And then the points really do drop off once you go back to 4th. Chuck Sweeting is 24 points out of the points lead of Tyler Fode, so a really big gap once you get outside of that top 3. But the main thing is Ryan Lutz and Ethan Burrell have a win. They are sitting 7th and 11th in the point standings. I know Ryan Lutz, I think he missed the season opener, but he has the win, and that season opener is his drop week, so he is locked in as long as he completes pretty much the rest of the races. Same with Ethan Burrell. But the battle is mainly for the top 14, and right now it's Josh Clark, Vincent Isabella, Thomas Sherman, Brandon Key, Caleb Thompson, and Nick Yeoman kind of sitting in that bubble. Also Chad Frankenfield, 13th in points. Brian Blauman, 12th in points on that bubble as well, sitting on the good side of it right now. And I say both of those guys definitely have really strong cars tonight, and throughout the season they could run away from that scary 14th position, the final position to transfer.
Yeah, certainly. A driver like Blauman's looking at tonight thinking this is his chance to really gain some points and get a little bit of the comfort to come in here. We come around and get ready for the restart.
Yep, coming into the final corner here, I think Blauman definitely looking at tonight for a good point tonight. I think if it comes down to it, he just needs to chill out and take a good podium finish, because I don't know if anyone's going to beat Enerson here, but we are coming to the green flag. Ethan Riesener is going to come down pit road with the pace truck, so it's actually going to be Blauman on the inside line here for this restart and controlling the restart as well. So Brian Blauman is leading, and we take the green flag. up the main straightaway here. Enerson, though, got a really good jump, and he's going to pull to the lead and be clear into turn number 1. Let's see if Plowman maybe takes a full send here into turn 1. He's not going to be able to get next to Enerson. He backs out of it and gives Enerson the lead.
Tucker
and this is
gets
a
third.
very short stage here again. As Tucker, yes, moves up into 3rd position. Fody into 4th. Weeks is 5th, and Sherman and Frankenfield go at it for 6th, and they are side by side through the rest of the field, but clean, no incidents on the restart.
Yeah, this is a good little battle for 6th place here. Looks like Frankenfield's thinking better of Sherman.
Oh man, here comes Tucker up the outside of Blauman. He tried to outbrake him, but nowhere to go around the outside there. Blauman is clear. We know Blauman kind of likes to take it easier and save his tires, which worked out for him in the last stage, but this stage is quite a bit shorter. We'll see if he's able to keep up the pace here with these guys, but he currently sits 2nd. He held off Tucker there.
Yeah, you have to wonder if maybe that front end damage is slowing him down a little bit on these long straightaways.
Oh man, big move by Ryan Lutz as he's trying to make his way into the top 10. He goes by Andrew Rucker, who's struggling with that damage he picked up under the caution flag. Yeah. They're really beating and banging through the carousel back there outside of the top 10. I think Rucker got into Isabella as they come out of the carousel. Rucker hangs onto it toward the kink. Oh, crash! Chad Frankenfield's in the wall out of the kink. He keeps it straight and merges back on the racetrack, but that's one of the trickiest corners of the track, and he went off and off hard. Heavy left side damage to the 15 of Chad Frankenfield, who was working his way from the back of the field to the front. Didn't lose too much spots, but he's picked up some damage. He's going to try and fight back, though.
Yeah, he's just got to get his rhythm back here. Let's go. Still a lot of race left.
Yeah, just look back real quick on what happened to Chad. He went into the kink right behind Matthew Weeks. And what that does,
track, yeah.
Pushed Lutz off the racetrack in the final corner. Lutz definitely not going to be happy about that, but I'm sure Frankenfield's driving a little angry right now. That's going to cost Lutz multiple spots, though, up the main straight. Yeah. Frankenfield was going into the kink right behind Matthew Weeks and probably couldn't even see his braking zone or where he was exactly on the racetrack. And that can really throw you off going into a corner.
Yeah, while that was going on,
tough thing.
Blauman got off track a little bit. Tucker took advantage. Fody tried to get both of them.
Man, action all over the place. And yeah, Fody up into 3rd and Tucker into 2nd as Blauman falls back into 4th. Yeah, Blauman overdrove turn 1 just the slightest and barely lost those 2 spots. Not a major mistake. He's still right there. And that was the last chance for guys to try the short pit strategy. Nobody did it because we are coming to 2 laps to go in this really quick stage this time by. So Enerson will be really the only guy that will be able to pit if he wanted to, but I do not expect him to. As there's still some hard battling going on. As you see, Frankenfield drops a wheel off into the gravel. Held on to it that time, but still some hard battling going on outside the top 10.
Blauman's starting to reel in Fody again. He's got himself back under control. You know, a lot of this, when you have drivers going off track, they got to get themselves composed again really quickly. Try and stay calm. You have drivers like Chad Frankenfield, you know, you can tell he's driving a little angry right now, and it's just costing him time on the racetrack.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough thing when all you're seeing is red after you make a mistake, either with yourself or if someone knocks you off the track. It really just throws you off your rhythm.
Up front, though, still calm, cool, and collected. RC Anderson coming around to do another lap.
Yeah, this is 2 to go on the stage, so the pits will close. Also, good battle going on here. Harrison Talon, Chuck Sweeting, and Gerald Campbell running at 7th, 8th, and 9th here up the main straightaway. We're really close together through that last set of corners. Pit lane is closed. 2 to go in the stage.
Yeah, Harrison quietly putting together a very strong run, too.
Yeah, that car is squeaky clean right now as he heads through turn number 1 with Chuck Sweeting all over his back bumper. and Gerald Campbell as well, who not only are having a good race here, Sweeting and Campbell. They started 32nd and 33rd, and now they're running an upside in the top 10. They're not only having a good run here tonight, but having a good season overall. Chuck Sweeting sitting 4th in the points, especially, looking really good so far.
And both of them still have very clean cars, too. They've done a fantastic job getting through the field. Battle up here for second just keeps going. Bodie is stalking Tooker right now.
Yeah, these guys definitely aren't separating themselves from each other. They're all pretty close. Thomas Sherman isn't even too far back there behind Blauman. These guys, I feel like, are definitely going to put on a good show all the way to the end for the battle for the final spots on the podium, 2nd and 3rd.
Matthew Weeks is still in the top 6. He is quietly learning how to ropeless race pretty quickly here.
Yeah, Weeks having a great run, has been sitting pretty much 6th, 7th the whole race.
Yeah.
And that Pro Edge Toyota looking real strong. Pro Edge running, they got 2 cars in the top 10 now, with Tooker running 2nd and Weeks in 6th. And then you have to go back to Ethan Burrell in 14th and Josh Clark 17th for the rest of their team.
Gerald Campbell gets off course a little bit, gets it under control.
Frankenfield and Thornquist going to get by. Also, Rucker went off the track behind him. Everyone hangs onto it, but losing some ground here as Lutz is going to try and capitalize on Campbell, but he ran it in the grass there. Campbell overdrove the corner a little bit again as we take the final lap here of stage 2. Coming up on halfway is the same moment as we cross for stage 2. So 1 lap away. Battle for second's getting close. Tooker got loose on exit of turn 1. Tyler Fode has got to his bumper here in turn 2.
Yeah, he was thinking about it, but he just falls in line. We'll see if he can set him up down here. Sherman's almost caught Blauman.
Yeah, Blauman has fallen off of those 2 guys running 2nd and 3rd. Sherman trying to close in on him here late in this final lap of stage 2. See if Fode has anything for that 19 car of David Tooker, though. He seems really solid here, while Tooker is kind of doing a lot of slipping and sliding.
Yeah, Tooker just seems to be struggling once they get 2 or 3 laps into a run. I don't know if he's just overheating his tires or what, but he is. You can tell he's loose almost everywhere around the track.
Yeah, that's one of the tough things, is not only is tire wear a problem, but if you get loose in a set of corners, it's really hard the next few sets of corners unless you get it really wound up, because you get the tires heated up and really warm, they continue to slide. So you kind of notice if you get loose out of one corner, you're going to get loose in the next one too. So you got to kind of back it down a little bit and hold on to it. So we head through the kink here one final time before the stage 2 closure. Looks like Tooker has driven away. He's just got to set up a couple more good corners to keep that 40 at bay.
Put 2 tires off track there.
I see that. He just barely did. I don't know if he's fallen asleep or if he's actually pushing a little hard as he comes up here through Thunder Valley one last time, coming to complete stage 2. R.C. Enerson looking for a clean sweep tonight as he is going to cross the stripe. And he's going to win stage number 2. They've thrown the caution flag, as the top 5 is not going to change here. And it's the same top 5 as we had at stage 1, just in a slightly different order. Enerson first, Sherman 5th is the same as it was in stage 1, but Tooker 2nd, Fode 3rd, Blauman in the 4th position.
Yeah, it looks like Race Control has stepped their game up a little bit. We got the pace truck out early this time.
Yeah, they thought they called it early enough last time, but they called it extra early here this time to make sure we get the pace truck out in front of the leaders so we don't have to do an extra pace lap. So thankfully we will not have to do an extra pace lap here, so we will have the pits open when we come around turn 14 here, the first pace lap around. But definitely a lot more action throughout the field as I was expecting. I was thinking these guys would at least take it easy maybe through the first stage, but man, it was just hectic all throughout.
Yeah, this has been a chaotic race so far.
Has not been so chaotic, though, for R.C. Enerson, who's putting on a clinic here, leading this race so far. And I wanted to make sure to give out a shout-out here to our premier sponsors here at the SMRI Productions Grand National Series. Of course, SMRI Productions is an independent record label and media company that exists at the intersection of creation, media, and technology. They focus on delivering comprehensive digital content with organic media for all your digital needs. And they also provide multiple avenues of content consumption, making sure that you're always in control. As a content provider, SMRI offers a unique, ever-growing catalog to fit your needs for any bespoke media desire. And as well, C2 Freight is a premier partner with the series. C2 Freight offers complete freight management services. They're ready to meet your needs today as well as your changing needs in the future. With thousands of qualified carriers in their database, they're capable of handling shipping for every type of goods, from perishable foods to office equipment. Whatever you need to ship, they have access to the necessary equipment, including flatbeds, double drops, vans, tankers, refrigerated equipment, multi-axle heavy haulers, dump trucks, auto carriers, intermodal containers, and more. So we want to thank them for all coming aboard. And again, this is the Whitetail Smokeless Tobacco 130. We want to thank them for coming aboard and sponsoring tonight's event here at Road America, offering a really cool prize back again for these guys hoping to win this race. And right now, R.C. Enerson, man, he can just taste that dip in his lip already. He's got this thing led, and he's putting on a clinic here.
He certainly has.
And
I don't think he could ask for anything else so far.
Oh, I know, right? I think I just heard that right. 31 of Chuck Sweeting, or Gerald Campbell rather, has received an EOL. He just crashed under the caution, and that is an EOL if you lose control under the caution. I'm gonna have to see how he did that, or where. Oh, look at that! He did, coming through this hard left-hander, which is turn number, I think 8. Yeah, turn number 8, right before the carousel. That thing just did a slow slide on him.
Here we have it right now.
Got in the gas and it just turned around on him. Barely spun out, but unfortunately a good run for Campbell. He's going to the rear. I don't think he's about that mistake he just made.
That's unfortunate. He had a great drive through the field.
All right, pit lane is open. The whole field has taken the opportunity to pit, which is most likely the last pit stop of the race. These guys cannot make it to the end on fuel, from my understanding. Again, R.C. Enerson with pit stall number 1. He's going to park it in the box perfectly. The only thing that could keep him from keeping the lead here is a little bit of bad luck on his pit crew. Looks pretty even, though, with the 19 of Tooker. Let's see who can take off out of their box the best. Enerson to the lead. Oh, Harrison Talon, or sorry, that's Vincent Isabella, rather, taking 2 tires, has driven into the second position. Maybe he took 2 or fuel only. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a bold move. We've seen it pay off for him in the past, but I don't know how that's going to play out here.
Actually, he completely missed his box, so he took nothing. So he's more than likely going to come around and pit again unless he plans on staying out, but looks like he missed his box there for Vincent Isabella in the 2 car, which is a tough break for him.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker.
And Gerald Campbell has parked the 31 car, so he is out of this race. It's too bad. He had a pretty solid run going, but R.C. Enerson leading still, and then it's going to be Tooker in second after the 2 car. Isabella most likely pits, then Fody, Blauman, and Sherman. And throughout the field, about stays the same. Some guys are still in the pits fixing damage, including Andrew Rucker, Damian Leininger. Nick Massey has had a really rough race so far here in the 48 car. Started 17th, picked up a good deal of damage, so he's found himself toward the back of the field. Nick Massey sits 8th in points coming into this race.
Yeah, Nick might be one of those guys looking at this race as maybe a potential drop week. He's had a strong start to the season.
Yeah, he had a really good run going at Iowa as well, I remember, just a few weeks ago, and as well as last week at Las Vegas, put on a really good show battling for a position within the top 5. Wound up finishing in 5th last week at Las Vegas.
And while these guys pace, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with you here in a moment.
Richmar Florist makes every day a special day, from weddings and large events to that little something for any occasion. Richmar Florist has the perfect floral expression, and they're open online 24/7 at richmarflorist.com. Everywhere, every day. Richmar's 2 retail locations offer a fantastic selection of floral creations, gifts, and home decor. Book your free consultation in our showroom for your special event needs, and visit us online at richmarflorist.com today.
February 15th, 20. Sports TV.
So yeah, I want to thank our sponsors there, Richmar and Erska. Erska races after this race here tonight. Same cars, different track, of course, but the Xfinity type cars here on Monday nights after the Elite Racing League's race, and a lot of competitors that run tonight will run in that race, including you, Jordan. Don't you race in Erska? Yeah,
I do, certainly. We'll be at Atlanta Motor Speedway tonight.
it's a very fun track there, a bumpy one too. I enjoy that track a lot.
I do as well. Should be a fun one. I have a
That is for
feeling
sure.
a lot of these guys here will be happy to get back on an oval.
Yeah, that's for sure. A lot of guys definitely not having the night they had hoped for. R.C. Enerson, though, I'm sure he'd love to stay on a road course for the whole season. And David Tooker, I bet he wouldn't mind it either. They definitely do really well here on these road courses. But R.C. Enerson putting on a clinic here, at this one in particular here, at the Road America circuit here in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Of course, R.C. Enerson has experience in the Xfinity Series cars at road courses. He actually ran the Bobby Daughter Chevrolet in real-life Xfinity Series at Road America, made his Xfinity debut, brought home a 20th place finish there in that number 07 car here in real life. So that was really cool to see him race in real life, knowing him at the time from getting going in the Elite Racing League, and he's raced with us for a long time. So that was really cool to see him race in the Xfinity Series and run well.
Yeah, just pretty neat. It's always nice to be able to make a connection with the real world with some of these guys.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Seeing RC race with us. Of course, Jeff Green is not here tonight. Probably wasn't so interested in running the road courses, but I don't blame him. But of course, Jeff Green races with us a lot as well, who brings a ton of knowledge into the series, being the NASCAR Busch Series champion 21 years ago now, in the year 2000. So he's a very experienced NASCAR driver. He raced in the Cup Series for a long time as well. So lots of, and of course we in our IndyCar series we see a ton of guys. In the 6 hours of the Walk of the Glen on Saturday, we saw a ton of guys. I know Robert Wickens ran that. A couple other guys as well. It was really cool.
Yeah, Robert actually came away with an overall victory in that race, I believe.
Yes, he did. That team ended up winning in the LMP2. That was a really fun event. I wish I could have lasted a little longer, but we got taken out about an hour and a half into the race, an hour or so into the race. But definitely hoping we get to do another one of those, and I think we're planning on doing another one of those for the Elite Racing League in the future.
Yeah, certainly. I can't wait. I hope we do. I enjoyed it quite a bit. So we come around here to get ready for this restart.
Yes, we do. The Pace truck getting ready to pull off here for R.C. Enerson. Let's see if anyone has anything for him here as we get ready to take the green flag for this restart. It's going to be 14 laps to go from the Road America circuit here in Wisconsin. R.C. Enerson is gone here on the restart. He is clear. He waits until he crosses the stripe, and he's going to move over to the left lane. Battle is getting tight here for fourth. Matthew Weeks is on a good run here into turn number 1. Oh, contact. Thomas Sherman just got punted, and up across the field is going to be a big crash involving Chad Frankenfield, who gets knocked off the racetrack. Oh, man, Thomas Sherman ran top 5 all races, destroyed and out of this race. Yeah, he hit extremely hard in the wall. I don't know if he definitely got help. I think it was from, I believe, the 75 of Chuck Sweeting in turn number 1. I think Sweeting might have drove it in a little too hard and hit the Sherman machine, the 23, and sent him hard into the inside wall, just destroying that race car.
And we'll back it up here and take a look at it. That was a big hit.
Yeah, he damaged Chad Frankenfield and I believe one other car also involved. Yeah, he got clipped in the left rear. Oh, Harrison Talon got some damage as well. He's been having a great race. He actually might got away with it because he got hit right square in the door, so he might be okay. But man, heavy damage. That 23 car's done. That's too bad. He was having a really, really strong top 5 run.
Yeah, he's going to be very frustrated to have his race thrown away by just one little accident after a restart, for sure. He never had a chance to save it.
No, that was nothing he could do. But Chuck Sweeting has capitalized and moved up into the 6th position. I don't know if that's the way you really want to capitalize, but he did it. And now up into 6th is Sweeting, having a really strong run. Ethan Burrell is behind him in 8th. Or in 7th, rather, now. Ryan Lutz also back into the top 10, and Harrison Talon running in the top 10 with Thornquist behind him, and Hank Steinmiller, who had a really messy start to this race, has cleaned it up a bit, and he's driven that 63 back well inside of the top 15, looking for a spot in the top 10.
Yeah, that's a great recovery run for him to even put himself into a position.
But Chad Frankenfield has dropped possibly outside of the top 15. We'll have to see exactly where he is. His timing and scoring is going to update here at the stripe.
Yeah, I believe he's going to come out 15th here.
Yeah, I knew it was close, and yeah, it's 15th position for Frankenfield. So he lost a lot, and he has had to work hard to gain these positions, and now that car has damage on both sides as he got in the wall through the kink there during that second stage, I believe. But pretty straightforward racing here through the field. Actually, battle for 9th right now. Chad Thornquist picking up some grip there out of turn 2 and down this long straightaway. He's going to pick up a position. That's 9th on Harrison Talon.
We'll follow him down here and see if Harrison make a counter move. Doesn't look like it.
Thornquist looked really good out of that corner, and he made a pretty good move on Harry. I think Talon here definitely going to try and save some tires. This is a long run, the longest run we've had in this race. So it's going to be a long, long run for these guys. And one thing I also noticed was David Tooker is keeping it really close with Enerson, which I saw him do in the first stage. And during the first stage, I kind of bit him in the long run, and he fell back to the guys behind him. So either Enerson may be taking it a lot easier and Tooker not so much, but either way, Tooker needs to be real careful here and save those tires because it's a long stage.
Yeah, certainly. We'll know here in the next couple of laps is how hard he's pushing it.
Also, Matthew Weeks up to 4.
Now, I was going to say, the main beneficiary of all that first lap chaos here was him getting a couple of spots. Some good practice.
Yeah, Weeks having a really good run. He won at Charlotte last season. Now he's trying to have a good run here on the road course of Road America. Also wanted to mention R.C. Enerson last season. He won at Mid-Ohio, which was, I believe, his only win last season at the road course there. Another dominant performance by Enerson. But he won last week at Las Vegas at the 1.5 mile oval, and now he's at the 4 mile road course putting on a clinic.
Comes across. He's got about 2 seconds already on David.
So yes, Enerson was last season's winner at Mid-Ohio, looking for his second win on a road course here in the SMRI Productions Grand National Series on the Elite Racing League. He also picked up a win in the Cup Series this season at Auto Club Fontana, California. So he's won at all sorts of different tracks.
Yeah, Weeks is quietly putting together, you know, the complete tool set to be able to compete pretty much anywhere we go now. He's
Yeah,
going to have a
Matthew
tough
Weeks is
time
good.
here holding off Ron Blauman.
Yeah, he definitely will. Blauman's been doing really well at saving tires. I don't know how bad that damage has affected him from his incident at the end of the first stage, but we'll see. Of course, Matthew Weeks, Daytona 500 champion in this season's Elite Racing League Cup Series.
So we take a look at Ethan Burrell quietly working his way up to 6th place here.
Yes, he has. Chuck Sweeting has fallen back a little bit, and also Ryan Lutz qualified third, got an EOL, picked up tons of damage at the start of the race, pitted under green to fix it in the first stage, has really struggled to get to the front of the field, and here he is running 7th on lap 22, coming to 10 to go.
After everything that's happened to Ryan with this race, I think he'll be happy. You know, if he could just keep status quo, come home with the 7th, he'll probably be pretty happy with that here.
Yeah, I think you got to be after a tough night. Just pull off a top 10, that'd be pretty good. But yeah, he's bounced back to a pretty solid run here in the 36 machine for Lake Norman Motorsports. And another thing you mentioned here, this tight battle between Weeks and Blauman is still really tight. Blauman has got back to the back bumper of this number 11 Toyota Supra.
Yeah, you got to hand it to Weeks here. He's playing some very good defense.
Yeah, he definitely is. Blauman is keeping pace right with him up here through these last couple corners.
Oh, great run there off the corner. Blauman's
Yeah, there he goes.
We got
To the
drag
inside.
race.
They're going to be side by side. Blauman had a pretty good run out of the corner, so he's going to have a slight advantage. Going to be about who gets up through the gears better. No one's backing down as they're really close coming into turn 1. You'll see that nose damage affect Blauman a little bit as Weeks drives it deep into turn number 1. And he's clear. Good corner by Weeks is going to hold off Blauman into turn 1. I think that little bit of nose damage might have been the difference maker there because Blauman stalled out as that straightaway kept on going. He was hoping for it to end because he lost the advantage that he had from getting that good run.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you. These guys are going to have to sort it out pretty quick, or we're going to have Burrell and Lutz all over them as well. They're closing in. So, back up front here, we see David Tooker. He's falling 3 seconds off with R.C. Anderson now.
Yes, he has, and he still has a pretty solid gap, though, of about 2.5 seconds back to Tyler Fody, who has about 3 seconds on the Matthew Weeks, Brian Blauman, Ethan Burrell, and Ryan Lutz train that runs 4th through 7th. And then it's pretty far back behind them to go see Chad Thornquist and Chuck Sweeting, as well as Harrison Tayland to round out the top 10.
Yeah, you really got to give the call to Chad Thornquist. He's put together a great race here to get himself up into 8th place.
Yeah, good run there by that 92 car. He had some issues at the very start. He slowly made his way to the front of the field, but he is here. Started 36th, didn't even set a time in qualifying. He's running 8th right now. Yeah, this battle right here, you're looking at Matthew Weeks all the way to Ryan Lutz. These guys are really close to each other. All it takes is one mistake, and you can go from the front to the back of this group here as Matthew Weeks has got a train of cars behind him.
Yeah, you wonder if he's holding them up or just the fact that Blauman's been able to get under him a couple of times, slowing them both down.
Yeah, I'm going to think it's that because, I mean, this track isn't a track that you really can get held up that bad on, like if you compare it to a trickier road course that has less passing zones. But this track definitely has lots of opportunities to pass. And I think Blauman, with that engine damage and the fact that he's not getting the straightaway speed and Week's not really letting him by as he shouldn't, it's just kind of a bad mixed bag of a bad combination that's leading to these guys kind of slowing down here and holding each other up. But I don't think Weeks is really holding them up because he's holding pretty good pace here, running pretty good lap times.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of getting off the corners. That corner exit's been great for him down these long straightaways, keeping him ahead of Blauman.
Yeah, now to compare lap times, last time by, R.C. Enerson ran a 2:16.9, which was the fastest car on the racetrack. David Tooker was the next fastest at a 2:17.3, so about 4/10 off of Enerson's pace. Then Tyler Fody ran a 2:18 flat, which is another 7/10 off of David Tooker. And then the next fastest would be Matthew Weeks, who ran a 2:19.3, and then the rest of the field is in the 2:19 to 2:20 range. So, I mean, those top three cars are just in a whole another zip code, never mind the fact that R.C. Enerson is in his own country up there in the lead.
It looks like Chad Turnquist has had an issue. I'm sure what happened to him, but he got off track for sure.
Yeah, he's off the pace still. Yeah, he lost about 4 spots there. Ooh, as Frankenfield makes a bold move up the inside of Hank Steinmiller. Ooh, they make contact. Oh, more contact, and around goes Hank Steinmiller. Man, him and Chad Frankenfield have had some history, and I think there was some definitely heated people in that battle. They made some contact, and around goes Steinmiller.
Is that Massey off track, just dirt tracking it?
Yeah, that was Massey sliding back there.
Back to 17th and 18th now.
Yeah, Thornquist had an issue. Chad made the move to the inside, and then him and Frankenfield doored, and then Hank spun across the nose of Thornquist. Nowhere for Thornquist to go.
You know, Chad's got a lot of damage all over that car now, all 4 corners, but he's worked his way back up to 11th.
And battling for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Still really close, but no change. Or 4th, 5th, and 6th, rather. Ryan Lutz has fallen back a little bit from that group of 3 in front of him. Ooh, man, I just looked at David Tooker in 2nd for one moment, and he was laying rubber down on the racetrack there through turn 1, so he's definitely pushing.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to see if he can keep all 4 wheels under him here as this run progresses. He seems to wear the tires out a little quicker than everyone else up here in the front.
Yeah, now we're down to 8 laps to go. Actually, interestingly enough, he ran the fastest lap on the track last time by half a tenth faster than Enerson's time. He's going to need to run faster laps than that to catch him, but still interesting to note that he was the fastest car on the track last time by. But it is still all the battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah, it looks like Lutz is falling a little off of it, but he's still keeping touch with him. I think he might just be wanting to see how this thing plays out. Looks like Blauman got a little bit better of an exit there.
Yeah, Blauman's working hard here, but not overly hard where he's making mistakes here.
You got to hand it to these guys. They're all being really smooth and keeping it on track. This is just great racing.
Yeah, the way that first stage played out, I didn't think we'd be able to do it. But as this race has progressed, they've definitely gotten a lot cleaner, a lot smoother throughout the whole field.
They certainly have. Chad Frankenfield starting to catch up to Harrison Taylor here. Battle for the top 10 spot. Chad Fernquist is keeping up with him though.
Also, Joseph Causey, we mentioned him early in the race. Lap 1, I believe it was him that spun in front of a group of guys that kind of created a big mess in the very opening lap, and he fell back, and we never really saw him again. He's bounced back into 9th after starting 6th, so a solid comeback for Joseph Causey.
Yeah, he's recovered very well. That was the one, if there was one consolation to him having his issues, is that he had it on the first lap, and he had plenty of time to try and rebound.
That is exactly right. And Causey currently sits 5th in the point standing, so looking at a really good run here. Another top 10. Keep those solid runs going. The second top 10 of the season if he can hold on to it.
Speaking of top 10, there goes Chad Frankenville back up into the top 10 for passing Harrison.
Yeah, he's definitely had quite the adventurous day.
I'll tell you
Yeah,
what,
Chad
though,
Frankenfield.
I think Harrison would be very happy if he wasn't still finishing in 11th. I know he was having a lot of issues in practice leading up to this event.
Yeah, started 21st. Actually started right next to Chad, who started 22nd. But Harry started 21st, has driven into the top 10 and been there for the most part of this race. But now he falls outside of it. He also must get the award for the cleanest car. Well,
Yeah.
other than maybe R.C. Enerson, but he doesn't count. So we'll give it to we'll give it to Talon.
Yeah, for now, for sure.
Also, Tyler Fody, another guy with a clean, very clean car.
He's gained about 3/10 here on this lap so far against Tooker, but he's still got a ways to go to make a battle out of it.
Yeah, he and Tooker last time by ran nearly identical lap times, 2:18.7s, and the leader R.C. Enerson ran a 2:18.2. So still a good ways to go here. We'll have to see if Fody's got the tire. He's definitely gaining on him here as this run progresses.
4th place is still going at it.
Yeah, Blauman has been right behind Matthew Weeks. We'll have to see who has the tire left. Matthew Weeks has been setting the pace, but I don't know if Blauman's been saving or what, but he's been comfortably sitting there in the 5th position.
Ethan's just sitting there in the 6th, watching this play out. Got a front row seat.
Oh, Tooker almost just looped it in turn number 1.
Oh, he lost.
I thought he was going around for a second. I thought he was completely around for a moment. He almost lost it in turn 1.
That's what Tyler Fody needed to reel him in. It was about half a second there in one turn.
Yeah, that car was about 45 degrees sideways. He almost came around, and here comes Tyler Fody now as those tires on that number 19 Monster Energy Supra are worn out. The good thing for Tooker, though, is as worn out as those tires are, I really think at worst he's going to finish 3rd in this race because he's opened up a huge gap. I mean, it's a good 10 seconds from him back to Matthew Weeks in 3rd, or in 4th rather, so I think worst case Tooker falls to 3rd unless he makes a mistake too severe and it knocks him back further.
Yeah, I agree. I think he can take a podium finish and be happy with it. I mean, a lot of these guys knew going in that RC would get the class in the field, so.
Yeah, the battle for the best of the rest is between Tooker and Fody, really, here.
Yeah, but, you know, it was really just a battle to try and be there to capitalize if RC has a mistake, which there's still plenty of time for that to happen. We can't just give it to him yet.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We'll have to see how this battle for 2nd and 3rd position fiddles out. But definitely looking like there's going to be a fight before this is said and done with here as Fody reels in Tooker.
RC still using up every bit of track to get the speed he's been carrying all the way through here.
Yeah, that Lucas Oil Racing School Ford Mustang has just looked perfect here from start to finish. No mistakes out of that car yet. And we expected him to do well, and I knew he was going to probably dominate, but I mean, this is just a whole new definition. He is just killing these guys.
Yeah, Fody's been able to cut it down to about 1.4 behind Tooker now. This is going to get interesting before this is all over with.
Yeah, Tooker ran a very slow lap, a 2:21 flat compared to Fody's 2:19.6. So
yeah, second and a half right there.
There was definitely a lot of mistakes within Tooker's lap, rather. So we'll have to see if he can just settle down and tick off some good ones. Maybe he can hold on to that spot as we're coming down to the end here, but Tooker is still loose here as through turn 2 he slides some more.
best battle on track continues to be this one between Matthew Weeks and Brian Blauman. Blauman's gonna take a
Andrew.
run.
Oh, there he goes on the inside down the straightaway. See if he can pull off the power under Weeks here. This battle's been waiting to happen for a while now. Into the left-hander, Blauman on the outside. Not necessarily the preferred line, but he could cross over here. Let's see if he does it. Oh, he does. He's going to try and get the power down, but the straightaway is really short. I don't know if he's going to be able to get to the inside of Weeks into this left-hander here. Not gonna.
That was some impressive car control under braking by Weeks to hold fourth place right there.
Yeah, Weeks still hanging on, but Blauman's definitely ready to pounce now.
Yeah.
I think he knows it's time. I also wanted to mention, I heard Ethan Reasoner, we know him as Mega, he yelled nerd over race control. I was wondering why, and it's because Andrew Rucker spun out in front of him and he drove right around him. So I think that would be why. So Andrew Rucker has had the adventurous race as well. He is still hanging on to a top 20, though.
Eventually, we're going to have to get our own radioactive show here.
Yeah, that'd be quite the show, that's for sure. I know there's definitely been some heated tempers within this race between a couple of people, so it'd be pretty heated.
There's Hank Steinmiller trying to recover what lost ground he can. Currently runs an 18.
Yeah, he had his own heated moment against Chad Frankenfield there during this run here. Frankenfield made work out of it, though, and is running inside of the top 10 when Hank ended up outside of the top 15.
Yeah,
He's going to make a move there on Mega, yeah. Reasoner having a really solid run, though. He's the only other driver in this race to lead laps. He stayed out for a lap or two under the caution flag, and he has bounced his way well inside of the top 20 now. He's running 18th, and the battle for second is getting really close here. David Tooker just dropped his right sides in the grass through turn 1 on the inside. Got a little loose. Yep, Fody up on the inside. He's going to have the inside here. Oh, he's going to make a little bit of contact there. And Tooker is losing it on the exit. That is going to be the easiest pass Tyler Fody could have made.
Yeah.
As Tooker has lost those tires.
It looks like Tooker tried to pinch him, but he was just too late to it. That's all it took.
Yeah, nothing he could have done there. I don't think Fody was at fault for that contact. And,
I don't either.
I don't think it would have mattered anyway, because you can just see how the speed difference is. He's driving away from him. So Tyler Fody now into second. There is a big gap of almost 10 seconds. He is going to have to make up, though, if he wants to do anything for Enerson. But we're coming up on 3 laps to go this time by. I think this thing might be just over.
I believe so. And another 10 seconds back, we still have the battle for fourth, which is raging on.
Yeah, that's definitely the one we're going to have to keep an eye on here. Ryan Lutz has fallen out of contention of that battle, but he is sitting all alone and comfortably in the 7th position, which overall, after the beginning of the race he had and pitting under green, that's definitely something he can be, I'm sure, okay with. But this battle for 4th still on. I'm sure if any of these guys take each other out, Lutz could find himself gaining some positions, though. But it's definitely going to be a fun battle. 2 Pro Edge Toyotas and the Chevy of Brian Blauman.
Yeah, these guys, you can throw a blanket over them, just mirroring each other around. Weeks got through that kink very good, though.
It's surprising to me that not one of these guys has really made any mistake. I mean, they're sliding around a little bit, sure, but they have not separated from each other. No one's gone off the track. No one's fallen out of it. They've just been nose to tail. Sometimes they make a move, and it hasn't worked yet on anybody's part. They're just dead even.
Yeah, it's impressive driving by all 3 of them. I mean, not only that, but they pulled away from Lutz. And we know Lutz is good just about everywhere now. Chad Franquist has caught back up to Chad Frankenfield here. Taking a run on him for 10th.
Yeah, Chad might have burnt up his tires going through the field so many times, and during this last run, he still had to go through the field. He picked up some damage, went off track, and there's Thornquist up into the top 10.
That would be a great run for him. I think he's another one of those guys that's in competition for paint of the race, too.
Yeah, I do like that. It's almost like a tie-dye paint splatter all over that car. That's a good-looking 92 machine.
Weeks leading the train up the hill still.
Yeah, Weeks is sort of not really pulling a gap so much on Blauman, but Blauman definitely starting to pull a pretty good gap on Barrel here during this lap. I've seen Barrel start to slide around a little more than those two. So Barrel might be falling out of that battle here, but it's definitely still a good ways to go as we're coming to 2 laps to go in this race. Another 8 miles once R.C. Enerson crosses the stripe here. But a fairly clean final stage, as these guys have really been hardcore on tire management. Battle back here for 8th going on. Chuck Sweeting stuck his nose under Joseph Causey through the carousel. And coming toward the kink, Sweeting slid up a little bit, and he's going to lose all that ground he had gained on Causey. Thornquist also in that battle. Ooh, Causey missed the kink, though, so Sweeting going to have another run here in the Canada corner.
Yeah, Thornquist is going to have to pick up all that ground as well off track. He's done a great job making up it already to get back to 10th.
Yeah, close battle here. Don't count Chad Frankenfield out of it either, because he's right there. Also, man, Damian Leininger didn't even notice the fact that he's bounced back. He has gotten around Harrison Talon and into 12th. He had been in the back of the field throughout this race, involved in multiple incidents in the first couple laps in the madness that ensued there. But he has found himself back in this thing. Looking, hopefully, for a spot in the top 10 is what he's looking for. Also, Ryan Lutz, who was all alone in 7th, completely ran off the track in the final corner, and now Joseph Causey's all over his back bumper.
Not a good spot to put himself in with 2 laps to go here.
Yeah, he was sitting all by himself, kind of just cruising to the finish and missed that last corner. Got a little loose on entry. Ooh, he might have burnt his tires up. Look at him go for a ride there in turn number 2, out of turn number 2. He's going to lose everything. He might be at risk for losing a top 10 here. Yeah, as look at Thornquist and Frankenfield going at it behind him.
Honestly, he did good just to hold on to that.
Yeah, that was a massive slide he had there through turn 2. Let's see if he's got anything left to battle back to what he had just lost.
Frankenfield's here. Oh, move.
Man, there was nearly some contact there. A couple moves being made as Chad lays the door to Thornquist. Oh, and Thornquist gets in the grass. Oh, he got the grass on the straightaway, bounced off Chad, bounced off the wall. He's actually going to be okay here. Only 2 laps left. He gets it back on the track. Only lost a couple spots, but a heavy damage there. He should be able to crawl it home, though.
Go back
That's
up here.
too bad.
Looks like Lutz has calmed himself down, got it back under control. We'll see if he can keep Chad at bay.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this battle fizzles out here, because I think Sweeting might actually have more speed than Causey, but not much time left. But man, that was a hard hit for Thornquist. He's lucky there's only 2 to go, because he's going to be able to bring it home and probably still finish within the top 15 here, as he is actually in front of Harrison Talon, still running about 12th, I believe.
Yeah, he's still 12th. And battle for 4th. Weeks and Blauman have kind of left Burrell in the dust, so to speak, here.
Yeah, Burrell has fallen out of it as R.C. Enerson has taken the white flag. 1 more lap to go here around the 4-mile Road America here in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. And this race is coming to a close, and R.C. Enerson hasn't seen a lick of competition, but the battling throughout the field has definitely been intense.
We'll have to keep an eye on the battle here for 4th, and then from 7th through 10th here on the final lap.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye on all these battles. Yeah. It looks pretty calm so far. I think the battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th there with Causey. Ooh, as I say it, Causey runs a little wide, and here comes Sweeting. Looking for 7th. Ooh, Causey drove it in deep and low on that defensive line. Now Lutz is looking under Sweeting. Oh, they almost made contact. That would have definitely turned Sweeting, but Lutz did the right thing and backed out of it, but he loses all the ground he had. Sweeting and Causey, though, that's the fight for 7th. Ooh, I'm also trying to watch. Blauman and Weeks are really close together here. Ooh, Blauman got loose though. As they come down this straightaway here into turn 8. Now through the carousel, that's the battle for fourth. Blauman has been sitting there all race long. I think he's definitely not afraid to put the bumper to him. He did it earlier in the race, as a matter of fact. Let's see if he does it again. Looks like also there was an issue with Chad Thernquist. I'm not sure what happened there, but we've lost him.
Yeah, he's on pit road, and our timing and scoring has been thrown off. RC is still in the lead, everyone.
Yeah, something happened there to Thernquist. Not sure what, but here comes RC Enerson through the final corner. Coming up the hill here. A dominant performance like we really haven't seen before in the Elite Racing League. RC Enerson's going to pick up his second win in a row. And RC Enerson wins the Whitetail Smokeless 130 at the Road America circuit here in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. The Lucas Oil Racing School Ford Mustang will go to victory lane, and Blauman is going to get fourth. He got it.
Gets him.
Waited until the last lap to do it. Blauman steals fourth, but it's Tyler Fody in second, David Tooker in third. Matthew Weeks will pick up a fifth place finish.
Burrell in sixth. Looks like Halsey's going to hold on to
Ooh,
seventh.
drag race to the line here between Sweeting and Lutz to the stripe. Sweeting gets Lutz by a nose. Not much there. Man, that was a good fight to the end. Causey got 7th, Sweeting 8th, Lutz 9th. Chad Frankenfield holds on for a top 10. Not sure what happened to Thernquist, though, at the end. He was running in the top, almost in the top 10. He's going to finish 14th. But R.C. Enerson picks up 2 wins in a row, and he does it in a dominating performance here at Road America. Looks like Thernquist blew a motor. I think he money shifted coming to the white flag.
He had put together such a good race, too.
That's very strange. It didn't sound like he money shifted it from second to first or third to first or something like that. The thing blew up as he came across the stripe. He had some damage, so that might have been why. That's a real shame. He had a good top 15, possibly top 10 finish, and that thing grenaded coming to the white flag, which is really unfortunate. But R.C. Enerson is your winner.
Yeah,
if you look at the top 10.
Show the results. A lot of these guys are just going straight to their pit box. They're not doing a cool-down lap, so unfortunately we won't be able to show much timing. Sweeting there did get by, well, he held on to 8 from Lutz there at the line. Yeah, Damian Leininger made it all the way back to 11th.
Yeah, good run for Talon as well. David Carpenter, 13th. Nick Massey, man, he bounced back to 15th. I don't think he ran in the top 20 that whole race until the very end. So that was a really good comeback.
Zach Evans there, 19th. He was thinking about skipping this race to get himself a top 20.
Solid run there by Zach Evans. He must have kept it clean out there because a lot of guys didn't wound up bad. Yeah, Chad Thernquist, 24th. That's too bad. He had a good run going and grenaded it coming to the white flag.
Yeah.
Nick Yeoman also had a pretty solid run going at the opening stage, but he winds up in 26th. Brandon Key, 27th. Not too good there for him either. And then Thomas Sherman, you see him back there in 31st at that late race accident. And Josh Robin, 34th as well, had a good run going and was involved in some accidents. But man, overall, I think that was a really solid race.
Yeah, they put together a great race after the first couple of laps. Everyone got themselves cooled down, calmed down, kept it on track for the most part, put together a good little race.
But we're going to bring in your race winner here first, R.C. Enerson. He was first in everything. We're going to interview him first here. R.C., it's Ryan Gable up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, man, you put on quite the showing out there. I mean, you didn't put on a good show, but I mean, you put on a good show for yourself. You dominated this race. Talk us through it if there's anything much to tell us. I mean, you won every stage and you won it. Got the pole. Perfect race.
Yeah, I think it just seems in the road course and the Xfinity car is just where I excel. I mean, I try to do the road courses in the Cup car, and I'm quick, and I know you are too. And I'm just kind of right there with everybody. But it's something about the Xfinity car. It just suits me. I don't know if it's the lack of grip and the way the thing moves around, but I have a lot of speed at the start, but I didn't really have that much long run speed. I know Fody did, and I think he helped that he wasn't pushing as hard as I was on the opening laps, so he was able to stabilize the gap on a longer run. So I'm just glad we had short runs.
Yeah, definitely put on a really good race there, short and long runs overall. Fody had a pretty good long run car, but in the end, you had the big gap on him to pull it off. But now you raced in this car and this track in real life. Now, what is the comparison here from iRacing to real life?
To be honest, it's actually pretty close. I mean, the break points are relatively similar. It's so far back in comparison to anything open wheel. And I mean, just like in that thing, the first lap on tires is really great, and then it just gets progressively worse really, really fast. And then it's just tire management from there. But it's definitely the same with the brakes. It's very, very tough to manage them.
Well, congratulations on your second straight win here in the SMRI Productions Grand National Series. What's your thoughts on next week at North Wilkes-Barre? Do you think you can make it 3 in a row?
I mean, I'll go for it. I know Lutz is going to be quick, but I think I'm quick at that track too. So it's just going to be qualifying well and then managing tires again and just see if I have it for him.
Well, good luck there next week and throughout the rest of the season. And that was a real good run for you. Congratulations on your second win.
Yes.
All right, well, that was race winner R.C. Enerson. Now we're going to bring up your third place finisher, David Tooker. David Tooker, Ryan Gable, you got a copy?
I got you guys.
Well, Tooker, you put on a pretty good performance there. You ran pretty much in the top 3 or 4 the entire race, and you bring it home third. Tell us about the event.
It was a good race, just about average for road courses. RC was just on another level tonight. I tried to stick with him early in the runs, but he would just walk away from me when it came down to the tires. So tires were definitely a big issue tonight. Literally everybody through the field was complaining about tire grip and just really sliding it everywhere. It was a lot of fun to drive, but you want to have as much speed as you can through the corners and try to get as close as you can to the guys around you. But the guys in front of me, Fody and Enerson, were just on another level compared to tire saving than I was. It just have to be better.
Yeah, now do you think there's anything else you could have done to maybe save better tire? Were you pushing harder than you think you should have maybe at the start of the runs, or was it maybe the setup or something else?
It was kind of a mixture of a lot of things. Coming into tonight, only really had about 20 minutes of practice and used qualifying as a practice run really to really see how much speed I had. So, but I definitely am gonna try to work on my tire saving game, especially on the road courses now. Just towards the end of the runs, I was just fighting a lot of brake chatter coming into the corners, and I just really couldn't get the car slowed down, which is why Fody got to me and got around me. I was able to keep up with him for a little bit, but I just didn't have the rear grip.
Well, still a really solid run, taking home a third-place finish. You can't complain with that. What are you thinking about looking at the rest of the schedule here? North Wilkes-Barre next week. What are your thoughts on that race?
We've ran good there in the past. Definitely have, I feel like, a top 10 speed there, but it's a short track, so anything can go anyway. So, but I think we're going to use this as momentum, and definitely keep building, and hopefully find ourselves in victory lane pretty soon.
Well, congratulations on the podium. Hopefully more to come for you this season. I'm sure there will be. And we'll hopefully be talking to you next week at North Wilkes-Barre.
Alrighty, thank you, boys.
All right, well, that was your third-place finisher, David Tooker. We're going to bring up your runner-up, Tyler Fody, here. Tyler Fody, Ryan Gable, you got a copy?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good. Tyler, you brought it home second. You saved some really good tire throughout that race. Just talk me through the race.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that was wasn't too much going on other than me driving off the track in turn one. I think 10 laps into it or so. But other than that, I figured we were a third best car, and we're just gonna wait for something to happen. And I noticed Tooker was falling back a little bit towards the end of those first two stages, so I was just hoping if I can keep it on track in the last stage, we might have something for him. And sure enough, with a couple to go there, just didn't seem like he had the tires left. But overall, pretty happy to come second to RC. I mean, I'll take that.
Yeah, definitely. Probably all you could have done in reality, but you definitely saved better tire than Tooker did there on the long runs. You reeled him in and passed him on both the first stage and there at the final stage there to the end of the race, and you were even running lap times comparison to RC. So is there anything you could have done different there to maybe be there with RC at the short run, or what else could you have done there to maybe compete for the win?
Yeah, I don't know. Just the short run pace for me, it's really a compromise. If I go as hard as I can and try and keep up with those two, I'm going to be toast. So just kind of knowing your place really in the field, and just kind of hanging there. I mean, I don't think I had anything for RC, whether it was short, long, 10 more laps or not. He was just on another level tonight.
Well, either way, you finished probably as good as you could have in second place there. So congratulations on the good run. Looking ahead to North Wilkesboro next Monday night. What are your thoughts on that race?
Yeah, I didn't know that was the next race, and not looking forward to that. I don't know. We'll see. Probably be top 10 or so, but just got to avoid the wrecks really with tracks like that. And yeah, we'll see.
Well, sounds good, and congratulations again on the runner-up, and we'll hopefully be talking again shortly in the future.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, well, that was your runner-up, Tyler Fody, and it was great to hear from all of them. It was great to hear. I was really interested to see what RC was going to say in comparison to running here in real life and now on the sim, and, of course, having experience in both. It's cool to hear that the track and the real life is very similar to how it is here on iRacing.
Yeah, it gives us, that sense of confidence of knowing that what we're doing is just as close to real life as we're going to get.
Yeah, it is really cool to hear that. So RC Enerson again picks up his second win in a row here, second win of the season. Also looking at the updated point standings, since Tyler Fody finished in second, the gap in points really didn't change too much. Fody still holds a lead of 3 points over our leader, or our race winner here tonight, RC Enerson. So still really close points battle between those two. We'll have to see exactly how things shake out, but I'm excited to see how the rest of the season goes here. And it's going to be cool to see who can battle for the championship, because RC Enerson now is not only a threat on these road courses, but he won last week on the Oval. So next week, though, North Wilkesboro, what are you looking forward to for that there, Jordan?
Well, the trucks just raced there last night, so we were able to actually have some pretty good green flag runs. I'm hoping we can replicate that. Short track, it'd be kind of nice to see what some long run pace brings out there with tire wear.
Yeah, that's right, and it's going to be a very exciting one. Hopefully we get ourselves a clean race. That's always a really fun track in any kind of car. It's also going to be interesting to see if anything big changes, because I know the build is tomorrow night, the big update on iRacing. We're getting some new cars, some new tracks, especially the Bristol Dirt Track I know is coming. It's going to be very exciting, and I'm sure the Elite Racing League will be racing there in the near future. But we're going to sign off here tonight. Thanks, everybody, for watching here on the Elite Racing Network. This was a really exciting race, that's for sure. The Whitetail Smokeless 130 at Road America has completed. Next week is the Bird North Wilkesboro 150 rather. And I'm really excited for that race. Want to congratulate again RC Enerson for winning a big prize pack from Whitetail Smokeless Tobacco. So congratulations to RC on